Greetings, greetings, family. We are live. Sister Denise in the house, as you can see, alongside some wonderful, wonderful guests who will be introducing themselves to you very, very shortly. So hope that each and every one of you are well. Certainly hope that you have risen in power today, risen in strength, risen to accomplish much. I want to rise up, all of our beautiful melanin rich people out there, those of you who recognize the importance of preserving our culture, preserving our spirituality, preserving everything African, rising you all up. Okay, getting a little feedback there. So if you have another device on in the background, please put it on mute. So we're just going to wait for our audience to join us. And as we are waiting for our audience to come on board, I just want to greet and welcome everybody in the house. We have our sister, Kay Merpalo from South Africa. How are you doing, sis?
I'm okay, sister. I'm fine. And hello to the audience out there.
Wonderful, wonderful. And what's going on in South Africa right now?
Just okay, I guess. Nothing much. Yeah, it's
Nothing
just
much for
chill.
your boy. Okay, okay. Rise up, all of our brothers and sisters on the continent. Okay. Thank you for joining us today. And we've got our brother Nat, who is from somewhere in Europe. Rise up, brother Nat.
Rise up, greetings, Sister Shanice. Thank you for that. We can leave that anonymous. The brothers and sisters here are in the right place, so we say, along with yourself. Greetings, everyone. It's a pleasure to be alongside my sisters and brothers. And yeah, I keep saying now's the time, so we'll just get straight to it. It's a pleasure to be here and to reason with everyone.
Hey, rise up, rise up. I think your accent gives you away, brother Nat, but hey, we'll leave it there. And we have our brother Kwame Kwanzaa in the house, all the way from Ghana. Rise up, my brother.
Rise up, Sister Shanice. Rise up to the audience. We just want to thank, the Creator and our ancestors for always giving us this opportunity. We thank the ancestors and the Creator for the life. We are really grateful for the audience for continuously coming to watch us and, supporting all the support they give to the Sister Shanice show. We are very grateful. Thank you.
Pleasure as always to have you grace this platform and address our wonderful, wonderful audience. And we've got Euro Menzi in the house. Greetings, my brother. Remind me, which country are you from?
Greetings, Sister Shanice. Rise up and stay up, everybody. My name is Yo Mens. I am from Ghana, but I'm speaking to you from the US. And I'm excited to join your show, and I'm excited that you have an audience that are willing to listen, to the rallying call that we have coming up. So thank you so much, and thank you for all my co-brothers and sisters from the Rapid African Plan.
Rise up, rise up. Great to have you in the house. And we've got our brother Chongo in the house from Zambia. Greetings, my brother. How are you doing?
Rise up to you, sister, and greetings. Thank you so much for having me here. And thank you so much for, are here as well, who eagerly like to hear from them and learn more from my colleagues here as we contemplate upon the process of decolonizing and transforming Africa. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And, as you can see, we've got a team of young people. There are a couple of elders in the background. We've got Sister Nzinga, but I can only have 6 at a time. So I need 2 of you to put yourselves forward to come back in a short while so I can bring on Sister Nzinga and Dr. Henry Clark. So just signal by sticking your finger up, and we'll bring you back on a bit later. Yeah, Menzi. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Anybody else? And Brother Nat. Okay, all righty. Thank you for that. So let me just quickly put you backstage, my brother Yo and Brother Nat, and let's bring on Sister Nzinga, and also let's bring on our brother Dr. Henry Clark. And sis, if you've got another device on in the background, please put that on mute. Just have one audio device. Welcome, Sister Nzinga. How are you doing?
Greetings, Sister Shanice. I'm good, thank you. I've been meeting you a lot this week. Nice. Always a pleasure to meet you.
Likewise. And we have Dr. Henry Clark here with us as well. Greetings, Dr. Henry. How are you doing? Dr. Henry, are you able to hear us? Can you hear me? Dr. Henry, can you hear me? Dr. Henry.
Hello.
Greetings. How are you doing?
Yes, I can hear you, Sister Shanice.
Good. I think there's a considerable delay on the line, but we'll work with it.
I'm good. Rise up, rise up. How are you, Sister Shanice? Nice to be on your show this evening.
Pleasure to have you. A pleasure indeed. And what a beautiful surprise also to be surrounded by so many wonderful young people. You know, the youth are our future. And so, yeah, it's absolutely awesome. And so, you know, today we've got a very important discussion that we're going to be having. We're going to be talking about the vision for a better Africa. What better discussion could we be having? You know, all of us have a heart for Mama Africa, and some would say Papa Africa as well. And we all want to see a better Africa. Africa, the continent, as we know, rich with wealth and resources, but, you know, impoverished. Too impoverished. And so, you know, there's a vision. The Rapid Africa Plan team has a vision, which is to fast track Africa into becoming a modernized, industrialized continent within 40 years. And it's an exciting time, you know, to be at the forefront of this transformational program. And here we have members of the team that are going to be behind driving this vision forward. So who's going to introduce the topic for us, first of all?
I'm here, I can introduce it.
Excellent. Go ahead, Brother Kwame. Please introduce yourself to the audience and go ahead and introduce the topic.
Yes, thank you very much, Sister Shanice. As always, my name is Kwame Gonza. I work with the Rapid Africa Plan. I work with the Kwame Nkrumah Ideological Institute also, and a couple of other Pan-African organizations like Africa 55 States. Yes, I'm a Pan-African myself, and very, very passionate about our continent, its people, those on the continent and those ones abroad. Now, a couple of months ago, I met the Rapid Africa Plan team, Mr. Chongo, and Professor Huntington, who is the architect of the Rapid Africa Plan. And he gave me the book which has written that is supposed to be the manual and the guide for the youth to understand how urgent it is for us to fight for our continent, to fight for what belongs to us as a people. And that book is called The Riot Act. The Riot Act is what addresses how the situation is urgent, is what introduces us or guides us on the way to implementing the Rapid Africa Plan. The Rapid Africa Plan is you know, is a roadmap on which the vision of transforming Africa in the next 40 years or less than, even less than that, to a GDP of $60 trillion is best. Why we say 40 years and to a leading GDP of 60 trillion is because we have seen nations transformed. Nations have been transformed. Others took 600 years, others took 300 years, but that time has been drastically reduced. The time has been reduced because there has been progress in human ingenuity. People have become smarter, people have become more intelligent, and there has been a lot of progress in technology. So we are no more in the first century or the 15th century or the 18th century. There has been rapid progress in technology. So because of this, you will find that Europe took around 600 years after invading Africa in the 15th century to be fully developed up to date. That is a period of 600 years. Now, the United States came on the scene also, and it took it for it to be fully developed, a period of 300 years. Now, when we go to the newcomers, what they call the Asian tigers, we can talk of countries like Singapore, South Korea, you know, and the others. We have seen Malaysia. All these countries have developed, and now on the new ones, we have seen China. You know, these countries have not taken the same time of development, like which is like 300 years or 600 years. They have taken even much less time because of the leapfrogging which they have done. And they have been able to catch up because the technology had already advanced, and the people, their ingenuity had also, you know, increased. So this is you know, the time frame on which the Rapid Africa Plan is based, that within a period of less than 40 years, we should be able to develop Africa, 40 years or less. Now, the other thing which may scare a lot of people when they hear is when you say we want to develop Africa to a leading economy of 60 trillion. People will say the richest nation right now is the United States, which has a GDP of 24 trillion. You know, China is coming up with the 14 trillion right now. How are we able to achieve 60 trillion when the richest nation right now is, you know, is just 24 trillion? And those people, I would like to remind them that Africa is the richest continent when it comes to resources. We have more than, you know, when we take stock of the African continent and the resources in the ground, we should have more than $300 trillion. So when we talk of 60 trillion, it's just a drop in the bucket. The Congo alone is just so rich. We all know that countries, you know, countries have been building economies out of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Belgium, they have been exploiting the Congo. You know, we can talk of even companies like Apple. They have been built on resources out of the Congo. China, Huawei, you know, all these companies. You know, Apple right now is valued at $2 trillion. Just a company, one company, multinational company. So the Congo, when you take stock of it, it has resources of up to 38 trillion in the ground. When we go to Zimbabwe alone, up to $18 trillion in the ground. So when we take stock of all the African continent, you can be rest assured that we have more than $300 trillion of resources. Even I would suggest you to say that our resources could go up to $700 trillion. Now, $60 trillion of GDP should not be anything for us to achieve if we are working together. Now, the second thing is that we have enough human resource on the African continent. and on the outside of the continent. We have a lot of our people, they are working in NASA, they're working a lot of in these European countries, you know, NASA, the United States. When you go there, you will find a lot of African people or people of African descent doing marvelous things, doing incredible things in engineering, in a lot of things, in education, all kind of things. So we have enough human resource. What has been lacking is the organization of these resources and putting them together for the benefit of Africa. Our people are there. Even on the continent itself, we have up to 65% literacy rate. So when we bring our resources together, material resources, and we bring our people together to work together, those on the continent and those outside, we should be able to achieve this feat in even less than 40 years. And this what the Rapid Africa Plan briefly has come to do, to reorganize these resources and majorly using the young people. And then we will leapfrog and go to the next, industrial revolution. We have to catch in the next industrial revolution. Africa has lost all the other industrial revolutions. So we should be able to catch it. So this is briefly what the Rapid Africa Plan is about. Thank you very much, Sister Shanice.
Thank you so much, Brother Kwame. Thank you so much. Absolutely agree with you. You know, with the technology, we're in a technological age now, so we can leapfrog into the future. We've got the very talented young people with the capabilities. So I'm sure, you know, if you all knock heads together, that is achievable, that's possible. Okay, who's going to jump in next? Let's bring in Kame Apollo.
Molapo.
Greetings.
Greetings to everyone. Yeah, the reason why we started the Rapid Africa Plan was to mobilize more of the African youth into our organization, because the youth are the future leaders. The youth are the ones who's gonna lead the world. They're the future of the whole world, in fact. And the reason why mostly we want the African youth is because so many of us, we haven't gotten that opportunity to rather explore for who we are, like to understand that we are the innovators of the world. I always see Africans becoming inventors, becoming businessmen and women. But with the percentage, what I see in the media and the Western media, they always bring the white people or the other races, they nominate them more than the Africans. You understand? So it is time for us to start something of our own than just depending on the Western media. Everything has to be on the Western side of things. And another thing, what I believe is, I believe industrialization. I believe that if we have to unite as Africans, we should think of industrialization as well. Because if we don't think of industrialization, thinking about politics and just only doing the media stuff and politics and just speaking up only, then what are we actually doing? Because we need to become action wise. We need to become the doers of our words. So I agree that we should start to become more business minded, more entrepreneur wise than depending on the government. Why would you wait for the government to help you? Whereas the Rapid Africa Plan, we are here to make you guys to be united into one, so that you can have something of your own, so that we can bring you can have your own thing, you can have your own piece of land, you can have your own business, you can have your own invention. I mean, we hardly get those accolades of these just because of Western media always perceives Africa as negative. It's all about negativity. It's all about the war. It's all about HIV and AIDS. It's all about Ebola. But there's nothing positive coming out of Africa.
Sorry to interrupt you, my sis. Can I ask everyone to put their phone on mute, please? Everyone put their list.
All right. Yeah, so that's and as well that we need to change our mindset towards the things. We as Brother Kwame said that we're not living in the first century, we're living in the 21st century. So we have to, now that people are progressing technologically, industrialized wise, excuse my English. Yeah, we have to go with the pace. Look at the Chinese, look at the Indians. What are they doing? Look at the whites. What are they doing? It's only us that are left to bring something, to bring something out of a good thing, to bring something. You understand? And I always say that there's always gold under our feet. I believe there's always opportunity around Africa. Those people will cry that in Africa there's no opportunities. They rather leave Africa and move to America, move to UK. But they don't realize that Africa has so much potential. There's so many opportunities we can take advantage of than just going overseas and seeking opportunities. Remember that we have so many resources. We got hands, we got legs, we got gold inside the ground. You understand? It only takes that we should change our mindset. Everything shall not become westernized. Our mindset are the ones that actually contribute to what's going on today. So our mindset, we need more counseling. I'm a person that believes in human psychology, and our mindset are the ones that contribute towards the actions that we do today. So we need to change the mindsets of our both of our elders and our youth of Africa, so that we can be able to unite, so that we can be able to work together, so that we can be able to fight back the oppressive system of the white man's education or illusion. So this is the time that we should unite. In fact, yes, I agree that many of the youth should be mobilized within this organization. But at the same time, our elders as well should be the leaders. I mean, not the leaders, excuse me, to be the guiders or advisors of what's really going on. Because as they say in the African proverb, an adult is the one who always foresees the future, and the young person is the one who's able to run things faster. So yeah, I think that's all I can say for now.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so, so much. The energy of the youth to drive the vision forwards. Absolutely. Okay, so I'm just going to remove the two of you who've spoken already so that we can bring on Dr. Clark and Yo back, and then we'll bring you back on. Okay, family? So, do hang with us backstage. There'll be a little moving around because I've got more people than I've got spots to allocate. We will be bringing you back after you have spoken. Okay? All right. Rise up, Mr. Chongo. What say you?
Rise up.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much, sister.
Put their phone on mute, please, or put their laptop on mute, or turn the volume right down because we're getting a lot of feedback. Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Chongo.
All right. Thank you so much, Sister Shanice. I would want to thank my colleagues who spoke before me, and they have really articulated the issues which are affecting us as young people in the continent, because we have always wanted to dream big and have our dreams or our desires realized. But because of some of the systems which were left in place, we are unable to do that which benefits us and which works for us, so that we can live our dreams in Africa. But what is it that we are doing today as young people to ensure that we live a happy life, which we would also want to be happy and be proud of, walking the street in Africa and be proud as Africans? It's the high time that we begin to engage one another as young people, because we are the most affected at the moment, because most of other other leaders who have been there, like they never had us at heart. That's why they never did that which benefited us, and the future is our future is ruined. So it's high time that we begin to approach things differently. And when we have a plan like the Rapid Africa Plan, we must take or advantage of such plans to ensure that we begin to realize that which we are able to do in the continent, because we live in a continent which does not believe in itself. And also, we condemn ourselves rather than condemning the systems which are in place, which do not give us a conducive space for us to do that which can benefit us. Why should we be crying or complaining that there are no jobs in Africa when the Chinese, the poorest Chinese, can fly from China to Africa and become a billionaire within a year, and we remain poorer? They come in the name of investors, and yet, according to my understanding, an investor is somebody who comes in a continent or in a country and invests, do business, and also leave the country or the continent better than he found it. But it is an opposite thing to us, because when these other investors come to Africa, they loot and exploit us, and when they leave us poorer than they found us. And this should tell us something, that there is something which we are not doing right as young people and our present leaders. It's high time that we begin to realize or ask ourselves that what do we want as Africans? And the day we answer that question is when we will begin to do that which is right and which will work for us. Because by that time, will not accept to be only used as laborers or those who are doing business to enrich other races or other continents, but will protect that which should benefit us as young people or as the present generation. Also, even as we engage in these activities or trying to reform the systems in Africa, we need a plan, or we need a scientific plan which will help us to begin to analyze the situation in Africa, and then acquire skills which will help us to come up with the solutions which will address the economic challenges which we have been facing as a continent. Now, we are young people who are less experienced than our present leaders. But when we voice out at times, we are considered to be less experienced. And because of that, our leaders become immune from listening or taking the advice or listening to our voices, because they consider themselves to have the monopoly of wisdom, that there is nothing much they can get from us. But we are saying we are the most affected generation, because we are looking at Africa 50 years from now. We may be privileged to be there. So when we ask questions, we want answers which will satisfy us and which will assure us that we'll have a better continent to inherit when these leaders are no longer in their positions. And if they are not willing to listen to us, it is high time that each and every young person who is listening to us tonight should begin to embrace the plans which are in place now, like the Rapid Africa Plan, which is inclusive and which is calling upon every young African to come and rally behind it, so that we secure our future through this plan. it will act as a platform where we are going to be together as young people and then begin to implement these plans which have been designed by these visionary leaders who are, dedicated themselves to say, we are going to work for the continent, and through this plan, we are going to liberate our continent. Now, if we are allowed to do that which is right as young people, it's the high time that we need to begin to, engage in conversations in our language as young people, so that we are able to listen to each other in our language as young people, and then engage each other, and then be willing to bring our ideas and, ideas, and then share that which we understand better, and then let us rally behind a plan which will be there, to secure our future, because we are the ones who inherit this continent and shape the future of this continent and leave the continent or our land in the safe hands, because our future generation depends on our actions. And if we are not mindful of our actions today, it will mean that there will not be a future for us, and we are going to be failures, because long when we are gone, our successors must succeed, and that's when we'll be considered to be a generation which succeeded in our lifetime. So I would say thank you so much to our previous speakers.
Thank you so much as well. Oh my gosh, it's so heartwarming to hear the voices of the youth talking about a better Africa and the role that they see that they have to play in all of this. Let's go over to Tia, who's wearing a beautiful crown on her head. Welcome, Sister Tia. Queen Tia, how you doing? Unmute yourself. Tia, can you hear me? Okay, let's come back to Tia. Let's go over to, right, she's off mute now. Go ahead.
Greetings, everyone. How are you, Sister Shanice?
We're not hearing you, my sis. We can't hear you. Okay, looks like we got some.
Hear you as well. How? Can you hear me now?
Slightly. Can you turn up your device? Can you turn up the volume on your device for us? While you're doing that, I will come back to you. Let's go over to Yeo Menez. Welcome back, my brother.
Thank you, Sister Shanice, and thank you all the panelists, and thank you to all your viewers. I am so excited. The reason being is, you're gonna hear the elders, the rap group, talk about, the summit, the All African Peoples Alliance Summit, second summit that is coming up on Saturday, the 15th. But I'm excited. Because we're here to, this is a rallying call, and then all the previous speakers are, psyching people up, trying to energize them to, come together under one umbrella so we can get this to build the Africa that we want. So that's why I'm here. So I actually and a lot of people on this call or on this channel or your viewers might have experienced the same thing. We've been to many conferences where we talk about a lot of things, but then we really do not implement anything, right? But then comes the Rapid African Plan, something worth, looking into and rallying behind, because with that, we are able to streamline all the processes that we've been talking about. We've been talking a lot over the ages. What do we see? We all know what is wrong with our continent, but the positives outweigh the negatives. So what do? We have, great resources. We have great people. We're going to have a population that is greater than anybody in any other continent in a few years. So what do? We better take advantage of the young population that we have. Africa is rich in young people. people under 25, people under 30. We're talking about 70% of the population is, young. So, man, I mean, we better take advantage of all this, rally behind the plan, and let's go. And what I'm also excited about is because my background is civil engineering and artificial intelligence and data science. So we know what's going on. Everybody sees the cryptos and, they see the money's going up and they're trying to like, oh man, where did we miss this? We all have to learn these things. I'm excited about South Africa because South Africa is training about 50,000 data scientists. This is something that can be replicated, around the continent. And this is the plan that we're talking about, Rapid African Plan. We need all the African youth. We need all the Pan-African organizations that, want something to do, but we don't want it disjointed, right? Because we have too many groups. This one is here, is doing a little bit. This one is, and that's the power that we miss. There's power in numbers. There's great power in numbers. So let's come together, rally behind the Rapid African Plan, join the summit, this Saturday, the 15th, and let's come together and work on our plan and, get the continent that we all, wish for. For the young people, you want a continent that you want to build, that you're going to be proud of to pass on to your next generation. And for the adults, you want to leave a great legacy for your great grandchildren, and your children's children, so that when they mention your name, they're like, oh, wow, my great aunts, my great uncles, my great brothers and sisters built this Africa for us, and we're so proud of them. So that's why we're here.
Absolutely fantastic. Thank you, my brother Yeo. And the event on Saturday, the All People's Alliance Summit that you mentioned, if people are interested, which we hope all of our audience members will be interested in joining, remember, we're looking for movers and shakers. We're looking for individuals who want to get behind this plan, people who want to help to progress this plan and make it happen. If that's you, we need you at Saturday's conference. How can they jump on board, my brother?
So absolutely. I mean, I am the rookie in the room, right? I'm the newbie. So I will speak very little about it. But the other speakers that are coming up behind me, man, they're going to tell you about our Facebook page that you can join. Be active. We have an active Facebook page, social media, YouTube. Join and let's get together and build Africa, the Africa that we want. Yes.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Let's jump over to Brother Nat. Nara. Rise up, Brother Nat.
Rise up, Sister Shanice. Give thanks. I mean, to follow after Sister Malapo, Brother Chongo, Brother Kwame. Obviously, I know Brother Yeo Mensah is saying rookie, but he has the heart of an African. He is the heart of a lion. So you can see how much he's gonna give. And I'll keep it brief because I want to hear from Sister Nzinga as well, Elder and Queen Mother Nzinga. But what I will say, what hasn't been covered, I feel, is just quickly on to the comments. I want to just make a point to those that are in the chat, those that are listening now. We are both, this is this interaction here is where you can see what's been said by those in the chat and what we're saying now and what we've been saying off air. What am I saying? I was interacting briefly with brother, I believe it's brother off-grid plant-based sapiosexual. Brother off-grid has raised so many key points, and I'm only highlighting him because he's one of many, but highlighting so many key points. And in a nutshell, he summed up what we can do. So I want to amplify what he's saying. We need to reform African-centered education system. We need to change our diet. We need to create industries. Number 4, we need security and protection, an army to defend. And number 5, we need herbal-centered hospitals. Now, I don't know this brother or sister, but he or she is straight away emphasized, this is what I do. We shouldn't even charge. It's Ubuntu. I can feel his African spirit or her African spirit, just like I do with Sister Malapo, Brother Kwame, and I look up to yourself, Sister Shanice, and Elder Nzinga. Listening to brother Leader Bandaka yesterday for myself when I was catching up, it's just pouring into our cup to make us stronger and sharpening our iron. So I feel what brother Offgrid has said, but then you have someone like with his sister Montu Moreau, who's highlighted, you know, we need to what was it? Write stories of a future Africa in a positive life, in a positive light, or someone else will write about Africa's future. How many times have we heard that? Yeah. I sometimes realize that we are singing from the same hymn sheet, and all we need to do is put the pieces together. It should be exciting. And so I land with this. Make clear your vision. With Rapid Africa Plan, Professor Hannington, Sister Sam, as Yeomans, I can speak on that part because I've been with Rapid Africa Plan for about a year now. I'm part of the diaspora representation. I'm based in the UK, KK. I didn't say it earlier, but you need to know. And we need you. We need you because your vision is what's going to complete this whole puzzle. Right? We need your input. So Brother Offgrid is a piece of that puzzle and a big piece. And I'm sure everyone in the chat is either thinking, I'm doing something, I've done something, or I need to do something. Now, let's go and do it. We need to do it now. It has been, if you listen, we're going to listen and hear Sister Nzinga, and you'll know just a tiny fraction, because we haven't got enough time, of the amount of work she has done and continues to do. So if this is not inspiration, I don't know what is. You come to the summit, you join in the Facebook, you either join, be part of the organization, or you join in force with your organization. Either way, no one is being left behind is the aim, unless you are not good for Africa. And that way, you know, we won't even need to have any conversation. We are going forward and upward. There's work that has been done. We're doing it and we're going to complete it. It's as simple as that. So I yield and I give thanks. You know, we rise everyone up.
Ashe, Ashe, rise up, brother Nat. And yeah, looking for movers and shakers. And thanks to everyone for the contributions that you're making in the chat. Brilliant, Nat, bringing in some of those contributions. Please do continue to make your comments in the chat, and our guests will periodically bring those in. Thank you so much. Brother Nat, you've been rising up our beautiful queen, Nzinga. Sis Nzinga, we're calling on you now. Why have you got behind this vision for a better Africa, an industrialized Africa, a technologically advanced Africa, an Africa where the wealth is distributed more equally and fairly for the entire population, an Africa that we're going to be leaving behind better than how we found it? Tell us, you know, why you've got behind this vision, and you know what your hope is for other movers and shakers in terms of them getting behind it as well.
Well, big greetings to all the presenters on the panel, and to Sister Shanice, as always, for moving things forward and providing space for people to share information and plan and strategize. Now, as Garvey said, Africa for the Africans, those at home and those abroad. And, you know, that was in the last century, and we actually haven't made that. And this is where I feel that the Rapid Africa Plan can bring that vision into being. Now, I just want to say I'm here as a representative of the Global African Congress. GAC UK works as a reparations-based organization, and when we heard Brother Professor Hannington and his team did a presentation, and some of us were interested, and others were a bit more weary because they didn't know the whole, but we saw the vision, and so we formed a small group 5 agreed to support the Rapid Africa Plan in terms of whatever is needed. We're going to come on board because, you know, if we're not free as an African people on our own continent, how are we going to be free in other people's countries? So when Africa develops and becomes a powerful force in the world, we can go anywhere and be anything we want to be. And as was said earlier, so many of our people, gifted, educated, well-informed, are working on behalf of other people for them to get back home, to develop service. As older people, we're behind for the younger people to enjoy. And I'm not going to play about. Currently, continent or in the Caribbean or wherever leaves much to be desired. You know, some
I'm suddenly you're on mute, Sister Nzinga. You've suddenly muted yourself. You're on mute.
So,
yeah.
am I back now? Oh, excellent.
You're back on now.
So, excellent. So, as I've said, we are part of the Global African Congress, and we are mobilizing to do whatever we can to support this work, because we see of the vision, not just for our organization, for African people as a whole. And when we lock arms across, we are going to be such a force to be reckoned with. And thank you. I'll leave it.
Thank you so much, Sister Nzinga. We had a few problems with your mic there, but we certainly got the gist of all of what you're saying there. We have Dr. Henry in the background there, so if I can just bring him in. If someone can signal that they don't mind being removed, and I'll bring in Dr. Henry. Okay, Sister Nzinga, thank you so much. Let's bring in Dr. Henry Clark. Thank you so much, my sis. Dr. Henry, we haven't heard from you as yet, but we have been hearing the voices mainly of the youth. Hopefully he'll be back in a second. We've been hearing the voices of the young people who are all, you know, singing from the same hymn book and saying they want to see a better Africa. They believe that Africa can leapfrog into the 21st century, that we can catch up and supersede the rest of the world. We've got the intelligence, we've got the skills, we've got the technology, we've got the know-how, we've got the resources, we've got the minerals, we've got the wealth. What we need, in addition to organization, is control of those resources and leaders rather than misleaders. But Dr. Henry, can you tell us what your role and your involvement is, please, in helping to advance the Rapid Africa Plan vision for an industrialized Africa?
Thank you so much, Sister Shanice. I hope you're hearing me clearly. Okay, great. So I'm called Dr. Henry Clark Kisembo, and I am currently in Kampala in Uganda. And at the Rapid Africa Plan, I am the Chief Operations Officer. So I consolidate all the efforts of the RAP within the RAP as an organization, as an institution. And also I am a Pan-Africanist, and also I am a business person, and involved also in academia and research. So I am a revolutionary. My mindset is purely African, and so I'm part of this revolution to say that Africa is united as one, because key to you've had the youth, they've spoken almost everything, but key to realizing the dream of Africa, a united Africa, and to have the fast tracking of the modernization of the plan for all African countries under an industrially united economic transformation, we need to first be united, but also unity comes with a whole paradigm shift. We need a mindset change. The mindset whereby we were given a blueprint as Africa, and we utilize and adopt systems, education from imported from other continents, then have to utilize them on the African continent, may not be the way to work on things or to realize the Africa we want to see. So we have come up with the vision for Africa. We already have the plan for Africa, a unified Africa. And this plan is not isolated. It is a plan for the whole continent. So basically, more of hello.
Yeah.
Are you getting me?
Yes, we're hearing you now. Oops, we've just lost you. Or is it my internet?
No, we can hear you, Mr. Shanice.
You can hear him, yeah?
Yes, we can hear you, but he's gone off. I think.
Okay, all right. Thanks for letting me know, Brother Kwame, because, you know, sometimes it's my internet. Okay, you're back now with us, Dr. Henry. We lost you for a short while, but you are now back with us. Please continue.
Yeah, thank you so much. So when you look at Africa as a continent, there is the land, there is the minerals, there are the human resources, and this should be transformed to create an Africa where everybody is happy, is dignified, is fulfilled. But there is need for a plan, a plan to realize this, and that's what the Rapid Africa Plan is bringing onto the table, that there is a plan, and countries should rally behind this plan. This plan is well thought out and clearly thought out, and it's an inclusive plan, a plan which brings on the young people, the women, the elderly, everybody on the continent. And we're looking at having a transformation of Africa, modernization of Africa, and industrialization. That's why we are calling upon all the different institutions, the Pan-African institutions, the youth-led institutions and organizations, the government, the private sector, the industrialists, to rally behind this plan. We are having a series of summits, and our second All Africa People's Alliance Summit is happening this Saturday, the second summit, where we share all the information, and then we unpack this plan. So we call upon everyone on the continent and in the diaspora to come and join us during this summit. So basically, what I see about this plan is that the inclusiveness is a drive towards the whole socio-economic transformation and modernization of Africa going forward. And we need to have now a print for ourselves, an identity, a plan that we can call an African plan, and not one that is has been imported from somewhere, different continents, and brought to Africa and say, work with this. I was looking at the different comments in the chat. Somebody was saying that how do we expect to have a new Africa when we are still utilizing the education system which was imported onto the continent? So the plan basically has all these accounted for, to have an African homegrown solutions, whether it's innovations in ICT, whether it's in agriculture, whether it's in the industry. And we have the people, we have the brains, we have the very intelligent young people. They are very innovative. Whenever somebody talks about unemployment, they refer to Africa, but Africa has the largest component of percentage of resources around the globe, of all the continents. So looking at how do we get these resources, and then these resources which are naturally given or gifted to Africa, be used and we get into production, which can create the industries which will be able to create the jobs, but also an academic system which is aligned to and accustomed to Africa and the Africa philosophy, the psychology, the paradigm. So basically, it's a paradigm shift, and looking at this Rapid Africa plan, it's a plan which is really thought out and very inclusive. Thank you so much, Sister Shanice.
Thank you so much, Dr. Henry Clark, for sharing with us, the vision for this Rapid Africa plan and the belief that we can do it. And that's certainly what I'm seeing in the chat as well. We can do it. Definitely. Africa is already rising. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. And people are just, complimenting the fact that we've got, so many young wise heads on the panel and amongst us as well. And it's a beautiful thing, especially when you get to an elder like myself and you hear these young voices coming behind, that, the call for change and the energy to bring about that change is still going to continue long after I've gone. It's a wonderful feeling of accomplishment for elders my age. And, to hear our brothers and sisters from the continent as well, speaking up and speaking out, and also recognizing and preparing to, say that we want a better Africa. We believe we deserve to have a better Africa. We've got the minerals, we've got the resources, we've got all what it takes to transform Africa into an industrialized and into a technologically advanced continent. Yes, we certainly do. So, and to hear young people say it, because the young ones are the ones who are going to have the energy to run with the vision, as has been said. Keep your comments coming in the chat as well. And family, as you present, please do, respond to the comments that have been made into the chat. Pull out one or two and respond to them. Rising up, Jamie, who is watching from California. Welcome on board. Audience, tell us where you're watching us from. Okay, let's bring back our brother Kwame Konza. It looks as though I've lost our sister Tia. She's not backstage again as yet, but as soon as she comes back, I will bring her on. Brother Kwame, quite a lot's been said since the last time you spoke. Please remind us, give us the details for the event that's coming up on Saturday, and put a call out, what do you need to help bring this vision into fruition?
Yes, thank you very much, Sister Shanice. The summit is coming on. It's the second summit. We have already had the first one. And as it has been always, said, there's a lot of Pan-African groups out there who are working. They're doing different things. But it is important to understand when a plan has come up and the plan is for the whole continent. There is a lot of passion that is out there. As you know, as I've told you, I've worked with a couple of Pan-African organizations, but you find that even though they are doing a lot, but you find that we don't have, we had not found someone who has a particular plan or even a vision to start off. Because most importantly, there's someone who said that my people suffer because they lack a vision. When a country lacks a vision, that is when it wanders in a wilderness for a very long time. We can go back to the 1960s. The reason why Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was able to achieve whatever he achieved in a very short time is because he was working under a vision. And actually, most of our African leaders, the independence leaders, had a vision, and that vision was to bring about independence, and they were able to achieve, that vision. And then they followed that with rebuilding Africa up, and they achieved, but somewhere, somehow, we lost the track when imperialism came in and overtook the continent, started overthrowing leaders. People like Dr. Kwame Nkrumah were overthrown because these people were the ones who were leading the vision for Africa. people like Sekou Toure, others, they started killing them. Patrice Lumumba, people like Milton Obote in Uganda, they started killing them off, chasing them from, from the continent, because these people, they had a vision. Now, some were there, we lost that. And for the last, let me say 50, 60 years, we have been wandering in the wilderness. We have not been operating on original African thought, or what you can call organic African thought. So the thinking has been done from outside. And ever since the 1960s and 70s, when all the independence generation, which brought about the leaders who brought about the independence generation, who brought about the independence, were overthrown, then the continent started being planned from outside. So it was not, up to now, it has not been the Africans who have been operating the continent. We have seen the structural adjustment, programs. We have seen the Millennium Development Goals. Now we are operating on SDGs. So all the planning in Africa, that is, all the planning that is running Africa is done from the IMF, is done from Washington, is done from Brussels, is done from Paris, is done from London. We have seen our leaders being summoned many, many times. China Africa Summit, Europe Africa Summit, Washington, whatever summit, the United States, US Africa Summit, even India, a very weak country with a lot of poverty. We have seen a lot of poverty. So it's because there has been a lack of original thought. And that is what the Rapid Africa Plan is bringing different. That we are starting with a vision, because that is where everything starts from. Our leaders are wandering, going up and down. They are running to the United States Africa Summit. They are wandering, running to the China Africa Summit, London Africa Summit, because these people, they lack a vision. So you will be swung, you will swing here and there. They will swing you and put you here and there, because you lack a vision. You don't have a vision for yourself. You lack dignity. And we have seen this manifested in the behavior of these groups of people who summon our African leaders, how they treat the African people outside there. You have seen this happen, in the United States, our people have been killed all over the streets, shooting all over. You have seen this in China. You see in the Mediterranean Sea, we have heard that some of these Europeans, they will sink the boats and people will drown in the Mediterranean Sea. You have seen the disrespect. So this is because the people, the leadership, lacks a vision. They lack a vision. So they will take economic advice from the IMF and they will impose it on the people. They will tell them, don't employ in the civil service. Civil servants, don't employ. Cut off the employment. Do this, do that, give us these resources. And they agree all this. Things which people like Kwame Nkrumah, the independence movement leaders, they will not agree to such, kind of terms and conditions. So this is where the Rapid Africa Plan is coming in, and it's saying that we start now with a vision. What is that vision? If we are working with a vision that has been formulated by an African, not the IMF, it has not been formulated from Asia or Europe. It has been formulated by an African. As it's saying, we start with a vision, and that vision is to transform our continent. To transform our continent in the next 40 years or less to a leading GDP. That is enough vision for us to, to be excited as the youth, especially. It is enough because we are talking about something which we are seeing now. We can talk about something which is tangible. Is tangible. They have given us the reasons why this is achievable. It is achievable. We have seen nations being transformed before our very own eyes. Look at China, for example, just in 2007 here. That is when they started building their railway system. Now they have the largest rail network in the world, high-speed rail network. When we are seeing, things have been transformed when we are seeing. So as the youth of Africa on the continent and outside, this is an exciting opportunity. This is an exciting plan for us to jump on. When you look at this, you have to lend your hand in every way you can, in whatever organization you are in. You have to jump on and learn. You have to lend a hand. Whatever you are, all of us are talented. We are talented in different things. There is many ways of supporting, financially. There's so many ways, because the plan now has come on the continent. We have been financing it using our own funds. We people who are on the board and the leadership has been financing all the trips which have been coming to Africa. We have been out, down here in the continent, even though the president is the United States, but he has been on the continent, you know, to try to link up with those progressive governments which can be able to, you know, to buy in, to kickstart the program. But all this has been done out of his pocket and a few other people who have been contributing. So financially, people can contribute. You can contribute morally, you know, moral support. Go out there to Facebook and learn about the plan. Go out there. We have the Rapid Africa Plan Network. Okay, you can type in and search it, Rapid Africa Plan Network. We have our own social media network, the Rapid Africa Plan Network. We have a website, rapidafricaplan.org. You go there and learn about the Rapid Africa Plan. We have Twitter. You can go out there and type in Rapid Africa Plan, you will find it there. So follow, let us build these numbers, because any plan or any idea, it gains power as long as it has support behind. And that is why we are saying, we the youth, when we come together in millions, let us come out there and support it, or even on social media, 5 million people behind the Rapid Africa Plan. This will be a very, you know, revolutionary. It will be mind-blowing even to a certain leader when we reach out to him. When we go, for example, to Ramaphosa, Cyril Ramaphosa, that we have 5 million people behind the Rapid Africa Plan, and they are saying we should implement the Rapid Africa Plan. People are pushing that we should implement the Rapid Africa Plan. We go to President Kagame and we say the Rapid Africa Plan has 5 million people behind. They are here. They are saying we should implement. You will be forced to look at the Rapid Africa Plan. So that is why we are calling all people in all organizations, ADDI. We are not saying you should stop whatever you are doing there. Continue doing the work. But we have a vision now. And that vision is now. The vision is now. So we have to try and come on board and support it, so that we can be able to transform Africa. Because these such visions come once in a while. Once in a while. This, something like this has never happened since the last 60 years, when Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was around with his vision of unifying Africa. So we have to jump on board and try to make this a reality, make the dream of unifying Africa industrially, you know, so that we can involve others, you know, a reality. So thank you very much, Sister Shanice.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you very much, Brother Kwame Gonza, on that. Most definitely. So many lessons to be learned from what you said there, my brother, from the outset when you was talking about the visionary leaders of the early 1960s, late 50s, early 60s. We didn't have social media then. And so, you know, they did a lot of the work, you know, by going around the different villages, the different communities. They were on road, they were on foot, trying to share the vision with their communities. But today we have social media. And so today it's not just about the leaders having the vision. Today, you know, the objective is to make sure that every young person has that vision for the transforming Africa within the next 40 years. And if every leader, if every young person who's a potential leader has that vision, then when they become leaders within their organizations or you know, within their communities, within their villages, you know, their vision will be just that, to transform their village, to transform their community, to transform their city and their nation towards becoming, you know, an advanced and industrialized nation. So that's absolutely fantastic. Let's get, you know, everybody, as you're saying, behind this vision and everyone working towards it. So just signal when you want to drop off, anyone, and then we'll bring back our sis Nzinga, who we've got behind stage. Let's bring back our sister young Kay Malalapo. Welcome, Black My Sis.
Hi everyone once again. Yeah, you know, I'm very, very happy. Most of the people who are commenting are actually trusting that we can actually solve the problems within the continent, especially with Eric. Is it Eric? Yeah, Batua. I love his comments. Honestly, or his comments. I love his comments. And he actually spoke about that we should know the history, you know, before we actually need to take action. I love the comment. I love it because if we really know the history, we know where we're from, we unpack what's really in. I said this before that our mindset is what contributes to the action of things. You understand? The history is the roadmap, is the roadmap to the solution of Africa. If we do things within the African imperialism, the African way of things, if we are proud, we take pride in ourselves, and we start to support one another, like what Mr. Kwame said, that we should unite, we should support one another. I don't think there will be a problem where we can create our own satellite, we can create our own um, media networks, etc., etc. There's another comment. It was from it, something sexual. I don't remember the name. I'm so sorry. He said that if then we are against social media, okay, we're in the times whereby like social media is prohibited. So I suggest that we should think highly high up there. We should think like what the white people are thinking. We should have our own satellites, for us to connect to the all the media stations. Like with the Chinese, they have their own satellites. You understand? So hence I say that the history is the powerful one. We should decolonize our mindset, and so that we can able to move forward. So I believe that with this organization, it will have a quite help in the African community through all aspects of our lives, spiritually, economically, and politically. And industrialization is one of the biggest things that we need to do, and innovation as well. I think that's all I can say for now. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much for drawing in on the comments in the chat there as well. Let's bring back our brother Yo Menes.
Wonderful, wonderful, Sister Shanice. It's been, thank you so much for hosting this, and the panelists as well. A lot of wisdom coming up, from everybody, and I'm loving the chat. You see me smiling because I'm loving the chat because I see the diaspora like, I want to come home. We want to do this. Everybody's really excited about what is going on, and that's the excitement that we need, right? We have the excitement, we have all the things that we want to do, and that's what Kwame was saying. So you're doing your own thing, but let's come together. We have a plan. Let's not overthink this thing, right? Let's take step by step. So the next step is come to the summit, right? The second summit. Come and hear about the plan, right? And that will be, and then take it from there. When you hear about the plan and you see how impactful this is going to be for the entire continent, not just for the entire continent, for our people, right? Both on the continent and abroad, just like Madam Nzinga was saying, it is something to rally around and get excited about. And I'm always happy. I'm happy because I see people like, yeah, we need this technology. Let's get the education. Let's learn what people are learning. Let's learn data science. Let's learn AI. Let's learn rocket science. Let's learn astronomy. Things that just like Malapa was saying, right? So that we will be able to do our own thing. But it starts with a vision, it comes with a plan, and we don't want disjointed activity. Okay. A house divided, will always fall apart, right? So we need to rally around. And the advice from Kwame is simple. He's not saying to stop what you're doing as an ADDI or what you're doing with another organization, but let's come together, right? And we can divvy up the task between us, anyways, right? But come first and listen to what the professor and other panelists have to say about this vision, about this plan, how we want Africa to do well. We want our people, to do better. We don't want the same old story where we see things on the Western media like, oh man, I can't even go out today. What are they talking about? Africa today, right? But we want to build something that is viable, something that is sustainable, something that can be scaled up, something that can be passed down to, generations upon generations. So come and listen. So that Saturday 15, come and listen, listen in and then see. I mean, I love it this platform because everybody is like, pumped up, Pan-Africanists, lovers of Africa. So everybody, but the message, might not come across like that to other people. Some other people need a little bit more, convincing, letting them know, because some of them have heard these messages over and over again, right? And have not seen any action because there was no plan, right? But here there is a plan. So come and all of us together will build Africa for ourselves. That's all I have to say.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, year. And I love what you're saying. Yes, young people, get yourself skilled up, trained up. We need a whole range of professional qualifications and expertise. All the engineers, robotic engineers, those who can build bridges, those who can dig tunnels, those who can build skyscrapers, those who can build railway systems. We need all of our young people to get that training and get those skills and expertise, because, we want you to be the ones who are building Africa. We don't want to be looking to the east or looking to the west to bring in, expertise from outside. We want to be able to look in-house, across the continent, see what's happening on the continent, and get those really great projects replicated elsewhere. Okay, we want a borderless Africa, so we support the initiative for the United States of Africa. And ADDI has been mentioned a few times as well. We support that initiative as well, because that's about engaging the diaspora and bringing the diaspora back home with all of the skills, talents, finances, resources, and energies that they've got to contribute towards the advancement and development of Africa. But also, really importantly, we need to do away with those borders. So the vision for a United States of Africa is part of the plan as well. No more will we recognize, these borders that were artificially created when they decided to sit around the table and carve up Africa between them. We need to remove the divisions that have been keeping us separated and keeping us apart for far too long. So yes, young people, get skilled up. We need your expertise to build the Africa that we're talking about in this visionary document. And so make sure that you join the seminar on Saturday. And let's bring in our Sister Nzinga. Sister Nzinga, you want to jump in here?
I really wanted to ask if you had the details of the summit that could be put for people who are in the chat to know when it's on and the time and so on, because that would be really helpful. Yeah. But before you do that, I just want to say a few things in terms of, we really need to look back at our history so that it can inform our present and shape our destiny for our future. Now, when we look at the children in Soweto who were massacred, they gave their lives for this work that we're doing. Steve Biko's life was taken for this work that we're doing. Thomas Sankara was massacred for this work that we're doing. We need to be serious. We really, I would say to people, this is serious work, and we really need people to come on board with the seriousness that it needs, because the people surrounding our continent like vultures are not going to just disappear. We have a massive project on our hands to get ourselves out of their clutches. We are rich. They publicize the information as if we are poor. We are not poor. Our mind is poor, and we need to we need to fix up our mind and get on board with a new agenda, because we cannot continue in the way that we are doing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sis. If someone could, WhatsApp me the link. I'm on the Rapid Africa Plan website, but I can't see any mention there of the conference for Saturday. So please just drop me a WhatsApp. Yeah. Thank you, sis. And let me have a look in the private chat and see if it's there. No, it's not there just now. But family, yeah, if any one of you can post it in the chat, please do. Okay, who was it who mentioned that they're waiting for me backstage? I can't see any new faces backstage that we've not brought on as yet. Let me go back to the WhatsApp. And but before we do that, let's go back over to Dr. Henry Clark. Dr. Henry, wow. The voices of the young people have been coming through. The voices of wisdom from one side. Sister Nzinga is there in the house as well. Not to say the young people haven't got the wisdom. We've just got years on our side. That's all young people. But what say you, Dr. Henry?
Well, it's really very exciting to see the young people and rallying behind this plan, ignited, and it's not just rhetoric, it's not just talk, but there is action. They've seen the plan. I mean, like the plan exists, and it's an African-grown plan, the Rapid African plan. So this is a plan which is really well thought out. It is very inclusive, and it is not only for a single country, but also thought through all the different countries, whether it's Southern Africa, whether it's Eastern Africa, Northern Africa, whether it's Western Africa, Central Africa. It's a plan that has thought out and spelled out all these different the vision for each country to adopt, and then pick up a leaf and then say that, okay, we are going to rally behind this, and this is really workable, and we can customize it to our countries, the different countries. And so like the young people are saying, that really that there is need for unity, there is need for belief, there is the emancipation of the mind to know that it's time, I mean, to get to action. We could have gone through the past. It's good to have and understand the history that we have gone through, and then also know that when that history is done, what have we learned from the history? What we have learned is that Africa has been, for the last couple of decades, relying on plans which are imported, but now we have a plan for the continent which is built based on a thorough, in-depth research and understanding. And by the way, the Rapid Africa Plan is not just a plan which was thought about in the last 2-3 months. This has taken 10 years, a decade of thinking critically through how Africa is going to emancipate itself, and sustainably, not the plans that come and before you know it, they've withered. But this is going to be sustainable. It's here to stay. It's to build the capacities of the different countries. This is the vision, and different countries can rally behind it. So we have more information during the summits. Each of my panelists has talked about the summit. There's a lot of information. We lay out the plan during the summit, like the second summit coming up. I've seen it being shared on the chat. And we call upon the different institutions, the different organizations, the different people, the Africans on the continent, in the diaspora, to come join the summit over the weekend, and then understand more. What is this plan that we're talking about? We're going to lay it out very clearly. I know right now the president, Professor Mbaiwa, is not here with us, but I know he's joining me in Africa. He's preparing his travel to Africa. So we're going to be together, and during the summit, we shall be seated and saying, okay, yeah, we are on the continent. Then we need to talk while on the continent. So I think there's a lot that has been going on in the chat. I've been watching the chat. And also one key question that came out, I think it was Jacqueline Russ. Jacqueline Russ asked that what plan do you have to counter any action that will derail or try to resist this plan? And the plan, which has taken a decade to develop the vision for Africa for the next generations to come, is one that has also catered for that part. Now, if I talk out the counter action on those who want to derail the plan right here, then they'll go and re-strategize on how to counter our counter plan. So unfortunately, I can't give the counter plan here, but just come to the summit. By attending the summit, it shows that you really have the mind to rally behind. There we shall give a little bit of our strategy on should they appear, because they want to sell or market their own plans, as has been the case of the SAPs, the MDGs, SDGs, name it, so many plans coming out from all over the world to Africa. So I would say that we are really ready for any counter action that will try to derail this plan. This plan really has a very great foundation. You know the saying that says if you build on the sand, chances are that you'll be blown off. But if you have a great foundation, which is built on a rock, this plan, the vision, is built on a rock and a strong foundation. And I want to assure the African people on the continent, in the diaspora, that just rally behind this plan and join us during the upcoming summit over the weekend. And you'll hear a lot more about this vision for Africa. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Henry Clark. And here is the Zoom link, also the ID and passcode that you will need in order to join the summit this coming Saturday. Please do take a copy of it and post it in the notes on your phone. You know, save it wherever you will find it, and we'll be able to return to it on Saturday. Okay, we'd love to see each and every one of you there. We've got 94 people in the house. If we have 94 movers and shakers, if we have 94 brothers and sisters from around the world who are prepared to get behind this vision and run with this vision, share the vision within your organization, if you're willing to share the vision with your family, share the vision with the people in your compound, the people in your village, the people in your community, you will be contributing towards making the difference that we want to see. Remember, you know, we're not in control of the education system, and we all know how important education is. We're all going to schools which have got probably a Eurocentric education. And so, you know, we're all being indoctrinated and brainwashed into wanting, you know, to live our entire lives serving our former enslavers, serving them now on the new plantations that they call the workplaces. And they have us within these workplaces aspiring, you know, to do all that we can and more to improve their quality of life, to improve the bottom line of their budgets, to make them profits, all to the detriment and the expense of our own continent. So what we're saying is, you know, we now need to look to Africa. We now need to take responsibility for contributing towards the development of Africa, even if we have to sacrifice and do it for free so that the next generation can come and earn and live and enjoy the benefits from our hard work. It's got to be done. Yeah, and we can't look to the east or the west for them to come and do it for us. Otherwise, they will continue to humiliate us and insult us and belittle us because we're made to be seen as though we're incompetent, we're inferior, and we don't have the ability and the skills to do for self, when the reverse is the truth. As has been said in the chat, once we look to our history, when we begin to understand the great heights from which we have fallen from, then we will begin to realize the potential greatness that we have as a people, as a nation, when we come together as one. And so, family, upskill yourself, not just to improve yourself personally within their capitalist Eurocentric world, but upskill yourself so that you can contribute towards the growth, development, and advancement, the industrial transformation of Mama Africa. Because when Africa rises, we all rise. Yes, and if we all rise, then we can stand proud side by side all of the other nations currently on this globe as proud people. No more do we want to see those really insulting derogatory images on their television that just makes loads of money for their charities at our expense. No, thank you. We can look after our wildlife ourselves. We can look after our environment ourselves. We can source clean water from under the ground ourselves. You know, no more paying organizations like WaterAid millions and millions of millions, yeah, for water pipes that they never ever, you know, bring to Africa. No more of that. Them there, they're done. We are do this thing ourselves. So get up, skill, get up, train young people, and we are few time this. Not true, brother, not Nara. A few time this. What you say?
That's right. You're just pumping me up. Get me started on Vodum. We going without saying Vodum to the whole of the family. You know, you have to remember that we're surrounded by excellence. You know, and if you don't realize that, then it's probably because we've not tapped into it yet. Is how I see it. You know, I wanted to raise just 2 points because, as I said, so much has been covered. Obviously, you know, I'm sure all that's here will be raising the vibration on Saturday. But there's 2 things. We always talk about unity. We always talk about unity. But I wonder whether we really know what it means. Yeah, there's so much sayings that go alongside it. You know, we're only as strong as our weakest link. You know, there is no I in team. Things like that. There is so much to be said. But how unified are you as an individual? How unified are you to your family? How unified are you to your community? How unified are you to your nation? Yeah, there's an order to it. I really do feel, because when you start to recognize, you like what I just pick up from what Sister Shanice was saying, when you start to realize your own excellence, that's when you start to have that unity with yourself. And as I'm saying this, I don't even want to come like preachy, because I know there is many people that know this anyway, but I tell you as a testimony for myself, and I'm still on the journey. So when you realize your own strengths, that's you bringing that unity to yourself, and weaknesses in the mental, physical, and spiritual. When you can do that with your family, and I don't just mean relative, I mean your family, the people that you would die for, yeah, that you show unconditional love for, which should be your every African brother and sister, right? Then you are building unity. When you can do that with your community, when you can do that with your nation, and I say in order. And just to wrap up the unity, there's something I take from Brother Leader Bandaka, as mentioned before, Sister Shanice, how she connects this. But there was a brother you brought on previously, Sister Shanice, called Brother Franklin from the Black Man TV. And he came similar to Brother Dean Akai as well, Rise Up the ADPAC movement. There's so much, it's ridiculous. Right, so that Brother Dean Akai mentioned we need to have a code of conduct if we really want this unity. Because unity is not a feeling. Unity is a means of bringing us together. So Brother Franklin mentioned, if you love Africa, you will support Africa, and Africa will grow. A simple code, LSG, love, support, grow. And I want to amplify it again and give honor to my brother Franklin, who I've only connected just off the beat through the WhatsApp, as I've been doing for the past few with Brother Kwame. Not even been able to link in. But what I do know is that we're operating on this same vibration, this same frequency. Sometimes individually we'll feel low, sometimes we'll feel high, but we know the frequency of what we need to run in unity. And that's why I know wherever we are in the four corners of the earth, we may be dispersed, but we should not be divided. We must be unified. And so my second point is, and I love this, this makes me rub my hands together. We are the vanguard. We are the vanguard. And what does that mean? I had to look it up to just make sure, and I'll say it verbatim. A group of people leading the way in new developments or ideas. That's what's been said by my sisters and brothers already, as we see in the chat. What Sister Malapo mentioned. Really appreciate loving those that can see the vision. Yeah. We're going to have obstacles in the way, of course. But if you can see the vision, as Brother Kwame mentioned, you should already be faced forward as that vanguard. You should be at that spearhead, the point of the spear, ready to go, knowing that you are saying to everyone else, wake up, but you are already at the point. So the vanguard in you needs to come out through yourself. Yeah, leading the way through yourself and what you can do, leading the way with your family and what they can do, leading the way with your community and what you can do with your community, and leading the way with your nation. But it starts with yourself. How vanguard are you? How unified are you within yourself, first of all? Now, we expect to see you on the Saturday, and it's one of, I hope that you've got clashes with this, because there's so much that you need to connect with. And if you don't, we just expect to see you. If it's because it clashes with something about the movement, about freeing us as a people, so be it. We're still going to be here. We're not precious with this. We need to make sure that we're focused and going in the same direction. So I land, vanguard, unify, really know what they mean, the etymology of the brother jammers, rise up, brother jammers. The etymology of these words are so important. So just keep moving forward, yeah, and think about what's your contribution, because it will be a sad indictment if you, as it's been said by all of us actually, that you don't want to be leaving this plane in the physical and knowing that you've not brought anything to the table for yourself, you know. Where it's a service. What is it? Muhammad Ali said something like, it's a service. The service we pay for being on this earth, or the service that we give, is for the rent that we pay on being on this earth. I probably butchered the quote, but there's so much that you can look and just see the pool, the black encyclopedia of what we have got amongst us, and you must be out of your mind if you're thinking we could fail. Is how I'll see it, and I'll land it there again. Rise up.
Rise up, brother Nat. Absolutely agree with all of that. You know, our conduct, our principles, you know, is going to have to be an important part of how we do business with each other, how we go forward as a people. It's going to be the glue that helps to gel us together. You know, respect, principles, conduct. Or I've already forgotten the acronym. Remind us. What was the acronym?
Love, LSG, love, support, grow. And I even got yeah, I just want to say as well, apologies, sister off grid. I was referring to as brother, and I even tried to put in the chat, but at least you picked up a bit on that as well. And so if that resonates, that's a job done. I you know, love to everybody that is right here. Do you know what I mean? And we move.
Shay, rise up. Yes, everybody in the chat, thank you for the conversation that's going. Remember that you can contribute to the discussion that we're having by putting your points of view in the chat, and our guests will be pulling out some of those comments and making reference to them as well. I mean, there's so many. As I see one, I thought, yes, I'm going to say something on that. Then more come through. But I've also posted the information about this coming Saturday's event. That's Saturday the 15th of May, and there's a few links that I've posted, and it'll tell you the time within your area. It's got the passcode and the meeting ID in there for you as well. So make sure, please, that you copy it and paste it in your phone so that you've got the information for Saturday. Set your alarm, because, you know, we want to see you there. And, you know, we need every one of us, all of us, you know, to be running behind this vision and this plan. And, you know, the Rapid Africa Plan, which is what we're talking about right now, if you've just joined us, it is a visionary document and a visionary plan that aims to transform Africa within the next 40 years to an industrialized, technologically advanced continent. It's a vision, and we want every single one of us to run with this vision, not like, you know, back in the late 50s, 60s, where it was just the revolutionary leaders that had the vision, and as soon as their heads were taken off, as soon as they were removed and replaced with misleaders, we're in a situation where we spent 50 years, 60 years in the dark ages. We're saying, no, we now want a situation where, because we realize the importance of a vision, and we want every single African living on the continent, in Europe, in Brazil, in the Caribbean, in America, wherever you are as an African, we want you to get behind and to wholeheartedly embrace the Rapid Africa Plan, to wholeheartedly embrace a vision of Africa being a totally transformed, technologically advanced supercontinent. We can do it. We have the skills, we have the potential. And for those young people coming up who've yet to decide what to study at university, consider engineering, consider, you know, becoming a scientist, consider studying for a career that's going to enable you to contribute towards the transformation of Africa. Africa might need tunnels, bridges, railways. It's a new infrastructure, a technologically advanced infrastructure, new cars, new solar systems, renewable energy. We want an Africa for Africans. We're not looking to copy what anybody else is doing and using fuels that is polluting the environment. No, you know, we've got the sun, we've got the sea, we've got the wind. You know, we want to be taking advantage of power that's going to be clean. So we want to create an Africa that we want to see as Africans. You know, as humane people, we want to create an environment that's also good for the animal kingdom and the animal world, because we are responsible for the animal kingdom. If it's left to others who don't look like us, don't like us, we won't have any animals left in Africa. They will shoot them all for gain. Yeah, I mean, I come across an article the other day where they were talking about shooting 500 beautiful elephants in Zimbabwe. How any misleader can agree to that is just absolutely beyond me. But, you know, we have to recognize that as Africans, you know, it's our humanity, you know, that got us into the difficult situation that our past, you know, found us in. But it's got to be that humanity that gets us out of it as well, and brings along with us the animal kingdom, the insect world. You know, we are a life species here on this planet alongside other life forms and other life species. We share this planet with the insect world. We share this planet with the birds. We share this planet with the marine life. We share this planet with the plant life, with the animal kingdom. And we've got to look after all of that. You know, there are those who will set fire, you know, to the Amazon, to set fire to tens of thousands of acres of land in Kenya. It's absolutely crazy. You know, that's not the sort of world that we want to be living in. So come on, family, we've got to take control. We've got to take charge, and we've got to be responsible for the Africa that we want to see. And so I want to rise up all the young people in the house, you know, who are saying to us and who are saying to you, get behind this vision that aims to make Africa, you know, a leading continent in the next 40 years. Let me quickly find my quote from Marcus Mosiah Garvey from the Philosophies and Opinions of Marcus Garvey, where it defines ambition. Because my mum used to always say to me, "You have to have ambition." My mum was from Jamaica, yeah? So she taught Jamaican. So say, "You have to have ambition. You have to have ambition." And that she used to say, "You have to have ambition." What she meant was, you know, for those who don't understand the patois,
the same thing.
yeah, I think that it means you need to be ambitious. So when she said, "You have to have ambition, man, you have to have ambition," it meant you need to be ambitious. Little did I know that she was taking a leaf out of the works of Marcus Messiah Garvey, who defined ambition as this. He said, ambition is the desire to go forward and improve one's condition. It is a burning flame that lights up the life of the individual and makes him or her see him or herself in another state. To be ambitious is to be great in mind and soul, to want that which is worthwhile and strive for it without looking back, reaching to that which gives satisfaction. And although that was written on the singular, we can apply that to the national. Yes, so for us as a member of a nation, ambition means that we want to strive to see Africa becoming an industrialized nation, and that desire has got to burn inside of us, you know, like a flame that lights us up. It's what we've got to wake up for. It's what we've got to go bed dreaming of. It's what's got to give us life and energy to make us want to strive to do better. That's the extent to which we've got to want to embrace, you know, this vision for a new Africa. Let me bring in our sister, Kay Mapolopo here. Rise up, sis. Is that flame burning inside of you? How much do you want to see Africa transform?
I really want to see Africa to transform in the African aspect of things, you know, through technology, through the media, through the industrialization, through the infrastructure, you see. And I want to thank, in one of the comments, someone said that if we talk too much about our plans, if we talk too much about what we're doing, it's not really that we're talking too much. We're trying to reach up to our African sisters and brothers all around the world. I mean, we've got the technology and we need to talk, we need to interact. How are we going to reach up to our African brothers and sisters? How is it going to be possible if we don't talk about it? You understand? I know somehow it can be a harm or not, but either way, we need to find a way so that we can unite, we can be strong, so that we can know what to do forward, instead of just keeping quiet and not talking anything. The same thing with any business organizations. Without you start talking, what's gonna happen? How are we going to come together? How are we gonna juggle together? You see, yeah. And another thing is that we need to look up to we need to have schools. In fact, I want to start with the religion and the spiritual aspect of things. We need to as well look at the spiritual aspect of things. Like, I agree with this I don't know, I don't remember, it's sister plant-based sapiosexual. She was saying that we need to move spiritually. So we need to move both physically and spiritually, but mostly in the spiritual aspect of things, so that we can be able to defeat the enemy that is following us. We can defeat who's coming behind us. You understand? The religion, the religious imperialistic factors and all these things have to do away completely. We need spiritual based thinking than a religious based thinking. If we do the religious, that means we're worshiping the enemies, we're worshiping those who don't even look like us, who don't have our own skin. Yeah, that's all I can say for now. But the fire is burning. The fire. Yeah.
The fire's burning. Oh, absolutely awesome. Is the fire burning inside of anyone else on the platform? Jump in. Give us some of that fire.
Come on,
I
come
just want to
on.
give you two Garvey as well. I want to say that Garvey said, "Rise, you mighty African people, for you can accomplish whatever you will." He also said, "If you want liberty, you yourself must strike the first blow." So here we are, striking out. One love.
Okay. One love, sis. Rising out the spirit of Marcus Messiah Garvey. Shay. Any more fire burning in the house on this platform? Do we have any fire in the chat? Rise up, Jackhead. Thank you for the donation. Sorry?
Definitely.
Sister Amy Jakes Garvey has just come to mind, so I want to just cite her because we mustn't just out the man them without the woman them. And she tells us that we must stand on our own two black feet and fight like hell for our place in the world. All power to Amy Jakes Garvey.
Ashe, stand on our own two black legs and fight for our position in this world. Ashe. Rise up, sis. Thank you for bringing to our attention again and rising up the spirit of our great Amy Jacks Garvey. And that's how we keep our late greats alive. When we call their names, yeah, we're resurrecting their spirit and everything that they stood for when we call on them, those great ones. Okay, we've got our brother Henry Clark in the background. He's it's just signal when you want to drop out, and then I'll be able to bring him in to make a contribution to the discussion. Okay, thank you very much, Sister Nzinga. Let's bring in Dr. Henry. Before I invite him to speak, let me just thank the Jughead, Brother Jeff, for his kind donation. And he says, correct, Sister Shanice, we need our African Venus project, Jacques Fresco. Look him up. Okay, so I've got him here. I've got the Venus project. Let me have a quick look and I'll come back to you. But at a glance, it looks like this is someone who also had a vision for a future, and his vision was to achieve a sustainable and new social economic system. It included a new system of governance. So I'll have a look at that, you know, because there may well be some parallels that we can draw from. And the Venus Project is a non-profit organization that reflects the culmination of Mr. Fresco's life work. And so we'll have a little look at that. Thank you so much for bringing that to our attention, Brother Jeff. We will look into that indeed. Okay, let's welcome back Dr. Henry Clark. Welcome back, Dr. Henry. We have, just to mention, we have about 5 minutes left. Wow, those 2 hours have absolutely flown by. So it's going to be a couple of short, sharp comments now. Let's do a final round.
My final comment would be that it's a quote from one of my books, 2017. When faced with adversity, you have two choices. The first choice is to stay down in self-pity, or rise up and brush off the dust and walk with your head high. And that is the second choice that we are taking as Africa. And also for those in the chat who are asking, how do they register? I see the fire is catching, the excitement. And I think it's not just excitement for rhetoric, but you could go to the rapidafricaplan.org. That's our website. And there you can register and also get to know much more about the Rapid Africa Plan. Go to the website. Also, for any questions prior to the summit, you could send an email to info@rapidafricaplan.org. That is info@rapidafricaplan.org. Or you could also send those on WhatsApp send a WhatsApp. It will be answered immediately to +1 718 709 5323. Once again, +1 718 709 5323. Rise up, rise up. I salute.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Henry Clark, and we look forward to seeing you again on Saturday. Let's bring in Nat for a few concluding words. Nat Nara.
Yes, I'll keep it brief, and I just want to acknowledge Dr. Henry Clark. We've asked, that as we have interacted with, those that are just listening, but those in the chat, it was asked upon, okay, so what are we going to do? The first things is, Brother Yessa said earlier, which was the first step, the simple step, is to come and join us at the summit. Thereafter, we've sent the information, the link to join us in, and now Dr. Henry Clark has just given out the contact details. And we know this is what, going back to those that have spoken before us from previous shows, is what we do. Give thanks, Sister Shanice. I want to rise you up for consistently and even more presently giving the connection for us all to be able to interact with each other, as Sister Malapa was explaining, through technology. And I simply say this: as I mentioned before, are you the vanguard? Are you that which is going to be at the spearhead, the front, leading and doing it? And if you are, how unified are you? Kind of being part of the Galaxy family as well, and learning that everybody's listening. If you're listening right now and you're the vanguard, you're unified already, drop any ones in the chat or drop any fists in the chat. Show that you are supported. If you've not already done anything towards the cause, share this link, subscribe onto Sister Shanice. And I normally feel a bit that's cheesy when you say that, but we are talking about unification. No one's being precious here. We all have a mission, and you can do it from a click of a button, or like many of those in the chat, actually going out and doing the works, overground, underground, however you're doing it, doing the work. So I say, be the vanguard, and be the unity, show that unity with yourself, your family, your community, and your nation. We move as one. So the African power, when we say Black power, African power, we rise up. Vodum.
Rise up yourself, Brother Nat. And do you want to mention when your shows are on the Big G, Galaxy Happy Week?
Yeah, do you see? And that's not the main focus. The focus is our freedom.
Because you know what? Each one teach one, each one reach one. So
no, you're right.
Drop your details in the chat.
Yeah, I will.
We want to maintain the contact. Yes.
Yeah, no, Sister, what it is we're so focused, and when you are so focused, that's not even the fault. But I hail you up against Sister Shanice because it escaped my mind. But yes, lock in on the Ejima on Tuesdays. I'll send it in the chat.
Okay, or what you can do after the show, just post it in the description underneath, okay? So that, if our audience want to come back, want to hear more from you or anyone else, at least they know where they can reach you, okay? So rise up. A few people asking in the chat, where am I born, where am I come from? Listen, I'm a child of the world, okay? My spirit is everywhere. My spirit doesn't conform to the borders that have been created, artificially created. Yeah, but they're about everywhere. So rise up for asking, Yes. Okay, let me get a few words, a few closing remarks from our sister Kay Molapo. Yeah, I got it in the end, my sis. Thank you.
Sister? Hello?
Yes, we're hearing you, my sis.
Oh, all right. I thought maybe I got that. Okay, all I can say is to actually unite is we should leave out the negativity of ourselves. We should stop living in captivity. We should free our mind. We shall free ourselves, and we shall get our hands and our bodies to work now. This is actually the moment where our ancestors prepared for us to work, if than just doing anything. The victim, we should do away with the victim mindset. The victim mindset is not a way to go. Yes, we realize the colonizers have taken our continent, have taken away our resources, but the victim mindset is what's destroying us. Let us get away with the victim mindset and start to unite and start to work towards developing Africa. Thank you. That's all I can say for now. Keep the fire running.
Beautiful closing remarks. Absolutely agree with you. Let's get rid of that victim mindset. You know, yes, we have an absolutely dreadful history, but our future is a glorious one. So let's walk in the spirit, in the knowledge of that wonderful, wonderful future that we are preparing the way for. Thank you so much for joining us on the panel tonight, my sister Apollo. And also, let's have a few closing remarks very briefly from Brother Kwame Konza.
Thank you very much, Sister Shanice. I just want to thank our audience for constantly, holding it with us and being there for us. What I would like to say, especially to the youth and all the other people, is that in all generations, is the young people, the youth who have been at the forefront, because we have this energy. And it has been always the wisdom of the elders. The elders are always at the back, to advise us on what to do as we move forward. So the young people, we have to put ourselves on the front, because this continent, if we want the continent back from the Europeans, from the Americans, the Canadians, we want it back, we have to put ourselves on the front. There is no free lunch. Our resources, we have to stand up and take them back. So there's going to be some sacrifice. They cannot give it to us for free. We saw this in independence. Right. Our ancestors, they put themselves on the line, and a lot of them died. Some of them put up weapons, others demonstrated. We saw what happened in South Africa. So if we want to take back the resources from the Europeans who are exploited them, we have to put ourselves as the African youth on the line. And the moment is now. The time is now for us to do that. And we start, supporting the Rapid Africa Plan. So everything we have, we should put it on the line and start supporting the Rapid Africa Plan, so that
let's remind them of Saturday, please. Yeah, remind them of Saturday, please.
Yeah, so Saturday, the All Africa People Alliance is what we are talking about. That is why we are here even today. So we encourage all of you to come and attend and learn what the Rapid Africa Plan is and what are the next steps. Where are we going? So how can we make Africa rise within less than 40 years to a leading GDP, which we said of 60 trillion. So come out there all over, the African youth especially, and all the other people who are concerned so much about Africa, who want to see their future, in a good position, who want to see their grandchildren and their children living a better life. We should not be going to Europe, falling in the ocean. We should not be lining up at United States embassy trying to get visa to go. No, we should not be doing that. We should build our continent ourselves. So if you want to do that, come out there and listen to what the Rapid Africa Plan is about. This alliance, what is Saturday.
Right. Thank you so much. Let me get a few closing words from my brother Yeo as well.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Sister Shanice. The show has been exciting. I'm really liking the chat and everything. But to close off, I mean, if you are here, obviously, you're rising up. You want to rise up. That's why you're on Sister Shanice's show, right? And we're asking you not to overthink anything, right? Join the summit this Saturday, learn about the plan, and let's implement it. We are here because, and we see the excitement, everybody wants us to do better. Everybody wants us to improve. You've heard so much, how do we move on from there? I mean, yes, we're going to face a lot of pushback. We're going to see people that might want to derail the process. But let's come together because there's power in numbers, and let's build the Africa that we want. That's where I'll close off. Don't overthink it.
Thank you so much for your contribution today. And let's end on this one from Brother Eric, who says, I swear your young people can do it. Absolutely agree. Ubuntu is saying, brilliant show. Stay safe, my esteemed panel, Vudum. Young people on the panel and my elders on the panel. It has been an absolute privilege and an honor, and I look forward to meeting you all on Saturday as well. I think everyone in the chat bar, one person, we don't need to mention who that is, you are invited to join us on Saturday. We always get one, don't we? But, you know, life would be boring without that person, maybe. So, yes, you're all invited, bar that one, to join us on Saturday for a very progressive and exciting summit. Thank you all so much for joining us this evening. For all of those at the forefront of doing the great works towards realizing the Rapid Africa Plan, more strength, more power, and more voodoo to the entire family. Sister Shanice out of here for now. Join me for my next live. My next live will be on Tuesday evening, 8 o'clock GMT time. Alrighty, join me then for my next live. It is a special. Voodoo. Peace and love.